Hey, what's good with the YouTube, man? This is your boy Rojo. This is the Rojo Room. So there's been a lot of discussion about Mr. Goldtoes signing Swifty Blue and other artists that are from Southern California. And there's a common question that I've been asked. And as you can tell by the title, it's if Goldtoes is a northerner, Norteño, formerly, currently, what his status is as far as, any kind of affiliations go. And the answer is, man, I don't really know. You know what I mean? For many years, Gold Toes has been in the industry, one of the main architects, for Northern California rap and amazing collaborations. I mean, 17 Reasons was evil. It was just a nasty compilation, bro. And I encourage y'all, man, if you haven't heard 17 Reasons, it's a compilation out of the Bay Area with some of the best artists out of the Bay. Man, if out of all the songs on there, 90% of them slap. I mean, that's just straight up. It was a great compilation, and I was really shocked when I came out because that song Northside Soldier was out, and I paroled and heard it, and I was like, oh, I don't know if you're supposed to be doing this or not. You know what I'm saying? Um, because contrary to the way things go now, back then that was very, very taboo. To even mention the existence of even regular northerners, man, norteños. I'm from the era where, so let's not get it confused. I'm from a while back. In my time, you had norteños, you had bros, and you had C's. There wasn't the northerners, there wasn't soldados, there was nothing. So when I refer to them, I'm going to refer to them the way I know. So norteños, bros, and then F members. Now, fast forward a while, I end up in the pod with some really high power players like Tibbs, DC, boxer from Selma, Corny, and I become an NF member, right? And I received word from Pelican Bay while I'm on the streets, asking specifically about that song on 17 Reasons and why they did that and so on and so forth. And there needs to be some payment for that song. This is like the first time in history that it had happened because nobody was really out there pushing that stuff until that particular song dropped. Don't get me wrong, Darkroom Familia was around and this and that, but that was out of my area. And I was one of those ones where what we do as a group is we have very strict regional boundaries in which we are to conduct our business. And I followed those to the T. I didn't involve myself in affairs in the Valley, in Monterey, Salinas, Watsonville, Gilroy. None of those places had nothing to do with me. Although I was, a regiment commander for my area consisted of Contra Costa, Alameda, Solano, Sonoma, and I had temporary guardianship over San Francisco just until somebody got out, and that was only like a month and a half, 2 months. Unbeknowing, the group as a whole didn't know that the people out in charge of San Francisco at the time were doing some really, really bad things, like talking to people they shouldn't have talked to. And I'm not going to put their names out there, but eventually, Boxer was released, and he obviously took control of the city. Um, but the guys that were in there while he was locked up, they were saying things about me and everybody else to them letter boys. So anyway, I start doing some little bit of research and talk to people who know some people who heard of some people and whatnot. And I've never been able to ascertain 100% if Gold Toes is or isn't a homie or if he's just a strong sympathizer. San Francisco's its own unique animal. You know what I mean? There's a whole different melting pot of individuals out there. Everybody wears red. Everybody kicks it with everybody that's not an enemy. You got real strong black and brown relations in San Francisco. Look at that 17 Reasons compilation. It's a black and brown. You know what I mean? And that's what they were pushing. They were like some of the first people who started pushing those relationships. And that was back in a time when the Northerners and the blacks rode a lot tougher together. Now, as I said before, was there ever an official, you know, coming together of both groups? No, no. Very, very good working relationship, yes. Alliance, official, not at all. It played out differently depending on where you were at. In Quentin, for example, for a long time, us as well as the BGF and the Kumi, the 415ers. If you guys don't know who are, it's kind of like, let's call it an offshoot of the BGF, even though it's not really. But they shared common interests and shared the yard. You know what I mean, with each other. The BGF supposedly gave them the thumbs up to organize and create a presence for the black folks from the Bay Area. Now, we had a great working relationship in Quentin for the longest time. However, a few years after I'm gone, there's a incident in H Block between the homies and the Kumi. So we can never get it twisted to say that there's official alliances within these groups, because although the NF and the BGF, participated in a lot of things together, it was only based on common interest. You know what I mean? No group, as far as my knowledge, really ever had a solidified partnership with another organization. Now, you can work with other groups, and it happens. I mean, at some point in history, both the Mexican mafia as well as the NF have had working relationships with the Texas Syndicate. So does that mean that there's an alliance and we're going to back this every single time? Not at all. It just means that, hey, you guys are somewhat trusted. If there's an issue and we need backup and we talk to you and you guys agree and whatnot like that. But at no time can you ever expect somebody to back your play unquestionably unless they're part of your group. Let's get that out of the way. But back to Goldtoes. So I did a little bit of research and I couldn't find out too much. You know what I mean? I was actively pursuing getting in touch with this individual to find out how exactly he was going to contribute to the homies for generating income using the homies' name and, you know, Norte this and Northside that and whoop de whoop. Big homies didn't like that. I was unable to locate him, and I was unable to basically track him down. He had moved to Texas and whatnot. So sorry, that phone call threw me off. So I was never able to really get in touch and establish exactly who this dude really was. All I know is that he was the. Excuse me one second. Hey, you guys, man. Sorry about that interruption. The way I record, I don't do no editing or nothing, so I just do it straight from start to finish. But anyway, let's get back to the subject. Goldtoes, is he a northerner? Man, I can't tell you at the end of the day. Only that man or some of his homeboys may be able to confirm or deny whether he is actually involved in any kind of affiliations from any neighborhoods in San Francisco. I know he's definitely not involved in any type of organizational stuff. You know what I mean? Because, a lot of the things that arose in the 90s, about me trying to track him down or whatnot, and, tell him he's got to kick in or, to cease and desist with all that stuff, that wouldn't have been the case, but let's jump on. As far as signing, these gentlemen from down south, I can't call it. This is a lot of this is going to depend on whether or not he is considered to be an active homeboy. You know what I mean? If he's an active homeboy, it's kind of like you kind of got to talk to some people and get a feel for what they have to say, their input. Because no matter how famous you are, no matter how many millions of dollars you have, no matter how much influence you have in San Francisco, you gotta talk to people. You have to figure out the direction that you're people you answer to are with what you got going on. You know, personally, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? But I speak from a now civilian type person who wants to see our people do better. People who've been locked down, they've been in cages, they've gang banged, they've done the north south, they've done bulldogs, they've done whatever. I want to see them do better and stay out of prison. And working together is great for that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of opportunities that a lot of different individuals from all geographical areas have. Networking is essential for success. You know, Goldtoes is a huge player in the game. He's got one of the biggest independently owned platforms there is. You know what I mean? And he's very successful at it. And that could open up a lot of doors for people from down south who might not be able to find deals in other places, and vice versa. LA's got a lot of stuff going on that, people from up north don't have access to. All kinds of studios, all kinds of production, all kinds of you name it. So, it's just something to think about, man. The geographical boundaries thing is getting old. It's time to move on from that. And that's just my 2 cents. But does anybody know? Is Goldtoes a homie? Or is he just a strong, affiliate, sympathizer, somebody who's, interested in what the homies are doing? You know what I mean? San Francisco's its own animal. So there it is there. This is your boy Rojo. Sorry for all the interruptions today. I'm ready to beat some dogs. I'm not really going to. So don't call the police on me. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.